Okay, so we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We're going to talk about sending a song file to somebody else. So what you already know, if you were around last time, or if you've seen the other video, there's this other video out there, which is called what? Song files, not your audio, pro secrets. And what it really comes down to is that most of you already know this. If you haven't watched this, I suggest you watch this other video. I'll put a comment in the show notes for this. But it works out that sometimes you want to send a song file to somebody else. And as explained in this video, a song file does not contain any audio. So how do you send it to somebody else? Well, it's really easy. I'm going to show you the hard way and then the easy way to do it. So, and then I have some tips and tricks, and you can ask questions. But this other video that's up there on the channel will give you some tips and an overview of how the .song file format works. And so that's be sure to check that out if you haven't. It'll make this one make a lot more sense. But what's going to happen is, you probably already know this. Behind the scenes, I'm going to go ahead and the easy button, if I want to find out, well, where's this file stored on disk? Well, first thing I'm going to do is make sure I've saved it. And I just saved it, and that's why it's grayed out here. I would do that with a keyboard shortcut, Control-S, Command-S. Great way to do that. But you don't have to do that. Then the other thing is, if you're on the start page, as long as you've saved it at least once, it's going to show up there. And if you right-click on it, the thing at the bottom you'll get is Show in Explorer, Show in Finder. If I'm on my Mac, I'm going to see Show in Finder. And when you do that, it will open up that folder, and it shows me that song. Now, that song file, remember, it's a collection of files. I can take that complete folder, not this, and all these things, and send it to somebody else. If I go to the Funbook folder, there it is right there. Funbook, S1 Jumpstart Export Demo, that's just the last file I had open, so I grabbed it to use it for this one. And I can, if I take that, one of the options is compress the zip file. This is both of the PC and Mac. You can do both of them, allow you to create a folder that has everything in it that's within these folders. Because, for example, the media folder has something in it. If I had some stems, if I have some bounces, if I have other things, they're all contained. But now that means I need to manually do all that stuff. All right, so I'm too lazy to do that. But you can do it, okay? You just go ahead, and I really should just do it. I go up here, I right-click on it, and I ask it to compress it, and via right-click there, and it's compressing all this stuff, and it's taking everything back there and putting it into one, figuring it all out, and then when it's done now, it's going to allow me to name it. I could just leave it that name. That's just, I'll take it and add something to that. Manual. And now I have a zip file. Now I can take that and send that to somebody. Now here's something that most people don't know. And I've never tried this. I want to try something. I love trying things. I'll bet I can take this whole thing and drag it and drop it right into Studio One, and it's going to open it. But we're going to find out, because I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to close the existing one. I know it can, by the way, most people don't know, Studio One can open zip files. And as long as it's right and has everything, a project file like that with a song file in it, it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is go to that, and I'm going to first close the existing one, all right? Because I already have it open. I had it open, and now I'm going to go back to, I'll bet I could just dump it right here. Let's find that out. We're going to find it out. So that was here. There's that zip file. So let's see what happens. I take this, and I drop this here, and I don't know if anything happened there. I don't see anything. Let me see what happens if I drop it on the start page, okay? Oh, let me go back. Let me go back. There's a zip file. If I take it and drop it, it thinks it's an extension. But that's, well, watch this. If I choose open, I have to find where that is. If I choose open, though, I know that it'll take it. So let me go grab Funbook here, Control Copy. We're going to go right here, Control V. Got that there. And then now, by the way, a trick I always do when I'm dealing with this stuff, I sort them by date modified. And let's see if it'll open this. Now, I don't know if it'll do this. Yep, that's interesting. See, file is broken or cannot be opened. But watch this. So by doing it manually, I make more work for everybody. Because what I would have to do is now go out and expand that file, and that's fine. All right, but watch this. Here's the easy way to do it. We have this thing open here. And now, if you choose the File menu and Convert To, most people don't know about Convert To, and there are different options based on which version of Studio One you have, Artist, Pro. I have some extra options that not everyone will have, but Look at the last one down here. You'll have this one, Studio One Artist. I don't know if it's in Prime. I think it is. We do zip file, and we just ask it to zip the whole thing. We're going to put it over here. It's going to be under Fun Book. It's going to be in that folder. I'm going to go up one. I will put it in Fun Book. I will have Export Demo, save this file, and it even gives me some options. It'll give you some options as well. And when you see those options, you can do things like, do I want to go ahead and it'll create FLAC files in the background? Oh, let me translate that in English. It's going to simply create one file, and that one file is going to have everything related to this song in it, and it's going to send to others. And it even tells you, because see, you could be sending this to somebody else, and maybe you used RX mouth declick on it or something that's a third-party plugin. And if you had used that, it's looking and telling you, hey, by the way, here's what you've used. These happen to all be built-in things, so everybody who has artists will have it. But if I had used something special, it'll tell me all of them, and I might glance at that and say, oh, okay, fine, whatever. But I'm not going to do any of that. So what it just did was it created a file for me. Let me go find that file. And I'm going to sort by date modified. All right. And the one at the top is the latest one. But watch this. I don't know if I can drag this in here. And yeah, all right, but let me close that because it just did it. And I'm going to close it. Make sure we get to see it. Close it there. And I want to go ahead and I want to save your changes. Sure. I don't really know what I did there. All right. So watch this. I mean, it's pretty bizarre. Remember the first time it said, hey, that's kind of that doesn't really work. But this file, because Studio One zipped it up and compressed it all, I'm going to take it and I drop it in and there it is. All right. I get that. So this is great for archiving. It's great for sending it to somebody else. And then and then I go, if I happen to, let's see, now what'll happen, I'm going to save this right here, file. Oh, let me do something. Let me trim a little bit off the end there. So now I can save it. And then what I can do is I want to go see what did it do? What did it do? Because it's now, where did it even put it? I don't know. It has a whole new song file folder. So I would want to put it in the right spot and make sure I have it where I need it. But I was able to send it to someone else. You could send it to yourself. You can send it to a cloud drive. So this is a great way to archive some stuff. And it compressed it in the background because it created a FLAC file where it was all WAV files in the background. So it made it smaller so that it uploads faster. It takes less storage space on a cloud drive or a external drive or wherever you're archiving things. It did that for us very effectively, easily. And then here's another trick. All right, I always like throwing in, especially for those of you that wait till the end, little tips and tricks. Sometimes I want to know where this is on disk. Well, obviously, I can go over here. Here's the one that I just opened, and it tells me where it is. Show and Explorer, I can get that. There it is. One of the things interesting is if any of my folders were empty in the other version, what did it do? It didn't bring it over. So it compresses everything and gives us the least amount we need to make this. In the media folder, it also, for that transmission, created a FLAC file. Now, most of you know, many of you know, some of you know, some of you don't know. In the background, everything's a WAV file. All our audio is stored as a WAV file. And by default, it's a 32-bit WAV file. If you're on the Pro version and you chose to, you could have everything in 64-bit. Don't do this. But you could have 64-bit WAV files. Point being, it did all the right things. The files are there, and I don't have to think about it. Okay? So it does all the right. So it converted it at the end back to what we need. And I already have that folder in there, so it created a second one. It's doing all the right things for us. And it was easy. I dragged it in and dropped it. Note that I also could have chosen open, and I could have gone and found that. I think I have it in here someplace. And I could find that zip file. Here was the file, and I could have opened it direct from there. Because when you look at all supported file formats, one of them that people don't really pay attention to is right there. It's really tiny on your screen. Just trust me. Zip file is there. It's just the zip file has to have all the right things in all the right places, and as long as it does, it'll reopen, and it works great, and it's pretty cool, and most people don't know about that. So I thought you should know about it because it does come up. Sometimes you want to archive a whole set of audio books that are older, and you want to take them off and you can then move them someplace. I could move this whole thing someplace else, and then I could open it 2 years from now if I ever needed to get back to that and find something in that book or that voiceover project, whatever I was doing, a podcast that I did. I may not need it anymore. And so now I have it saved for future use. Okay. Now, a couple other things. If you're on this live, throw a little comment in there. It's really helpful if you throw a comment in there, just so I know you're there. And I'd upgraded all my broadcast software, so there was a new version of it, and I did that, and I decided to do this. I don't usually do these this late at night, but I did it anyway. And so if you throw something in the chat, super helpful. Then I know somebody's there. But this is later at night, and I decided to do it anyway because tomorrow I'm doing our Ask Us Anything with Mr. Heller. And in case you're probably watching this later, but Joanna Perrin's on. She's awesome. And you'll get to see the replay. So Ask Us Anything is on the Red Barns Audio channel on YouTube. Plus all these are on that channel. So you can go back and make sure if you're not familiar with this, that you watch the previous YouTube video that was on the .song file format, and that'll help you there too. So I hope this helps some people here. And I don't see, yeah. Hey, thanks, Breitbart. That looks like Brian. And yep. Thank you. I'm always finding cool stuff. The thing is that everyone else does too. And then one of the great things is people like you tell me the cool thing that you found. So a lot of times I don't know something or I didn't know something, and somebody says, hey, did you notice that? And I had something come up just about a week ago that I remember thinking, darn, that feature's been in there for multiple years. I didn't know about it. And I right now, I can't think of which one it is, but it's amazing that something can come up that I didn't know. And when it's in context, I'll remember what it was. But I thought, oh, that's really cool. That's really helpful. And I just didn't know about it. And that's because people tell me about it. I watch the forums and things like that. All right. Thanks for that comment. Super helpful. And I'm going to keep this one as short as possible. But anyways, you guys have a fantastic night, day. Be sure to watch the Ask Us Anything. And then if you have questions, you have comments, be sure to send them to me. If you want me to do a live on something, send me a message. Throw it in the Studio One group. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to like this. Send it off to other people. Share it. It's super helpful when you do that kind of stuff. So hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon. Have a great time. See you on the wires. Bye-bye.